And there we go. We're final to the title screen. Alright, so hi all, this is DFuxa. Welcome to Bioshock 2. I'll note if you basically search my channel, you can basically see a playlist for Bioshock 1 if you're basically, like, you know, inclined to basically check out the first initial game that this game is basically based off of, a sequel to. And I highly recommend it because this is a game that very much builds on the original game. It's not very much a standalone experience so much as, like, you know, it's just a game that sort of continues the experience of the old one. Anyhow, I basically tried to go through this game already, and I got made it all the way to, like, you know, the, through, like, the first, like, tutorial area, I guess I'll say, but I noticed that, in the options here, this used to be, like, you know, down here at, like, you know, 1280, 720, which is not what I wanted, so I've basically increased this since then to 1920 of 1080. I've also decided to, do a couple other changes as well, so, for example, with, like, the audio options, I've, like, you know, moved down, like, you know, as you see some of the sliders to be, like, you know, less music, a little bit less sound effects. More or less everything else is the same, though. I've also changed some of the gameplay options as well, turning a lot of this stuff on, so you're going to see, like, you know, art subtitles, dialogue subtitles, and other stuff basically popping up. Should make for, like, you know, a little bit more of, like, a better experience for you guys, hopefully, watching the video. Anyhow, let's just start a new game here. Now, I'll note that Bioshock 2 is a big improvement on Bioshock 1 in terms of, like, you know, its shooting mechanics and stuff like that, but yeah, this is not very much a series that's ever been very good with, like, shooting mechanics, so we're just going to play on medium, because this is more or less about story than, like, you know, shooting stuff, so we'll just do that. And we'll go from there. And yeah, yes, you got a little tips. So, control to basically use first aid kit when wounded. And we'll get another tip in a moment. Press C to crouch. That's something else I really don't like about this game, by the way. You can crouch in this game, but it's like a permanent crouch. So you're like, you know, you press C to crouch, you press C again to stop crouching. It's not like hold or anything like that. Or, you know, anything, you know, lovable about that. And let's just jump back into Babylon, or not Babylon, Rapture. So 1958, beneath the Atlantic Ocean. This is the opening cutscene.
Look, Daddy, it's you. Let's go out to play, Daddy.
There you are. He plays a Big Daddy in this one.
More angels, Daddy. This way.
There we are. He's perfectly safe now. This is not your daughter. Do you understand? Her name is Eleanor, and she is mine. Now, kneel, please. Remove your helmet. Now, take the pistol. Place it against your head. Fire.
And thus is the opening of Bioshock 2. "10 years later." And finally, the Cinemax end.
Can you hear me?
Fallen, fallen is Babylon. Alright, so we can use the mouse to look around. WASD to move. Right here is a Vita chamber. You probably all remember what this is all about. It's like your, revival tool. Now, I don't believe early on there's much to pick up, so let's just push on to the next area, shall we? Bunch of pictures on the wall here. This area's blocks will go this way. Got a little sister poking her head out of there for, a bit. We'll deal with them eventually in the future. So smash the coral blocking the door. We're just going to use our thing here to do that. We're not going to use the click. By the way, if you press shift, basically you can swing this thing around normally, so you don't use up fuel. You can hold basically to use it, but whatever. I'll note that basically you got the permanent crouch walk. So you basically you crab walk with C, and then you press C to stop doing that. Watch me basically crouch walk in the future, because I forgot to do that. There's something out there. Very, similar to basically how, the first Bioshock opened with, the Spire Slicer running around. I'll note that over here we got a locked door. Yep, we'll be coming back to this locked door, of course, because that's how this game rolls. It likes to backtrack you in, ways and such. Ah yes, one of these. Attention workers, pick this up.
Lesson 1, mop jockeys. You are under the ocean now. If you feel the soft patter of rain on your hat, you're already fired. Lesson 2. You can jumpstart a dead generator with a direct spark, but clear the guests out of the pool first. Scares these rich pricks to watch a working stiff hurling thunderbolts. You follow me?
I.e. we need to, get the Thunderbolt power up basically to deal this. You'll see what that's all about in a bit, but for now...
What's that for tonight? 7 cadavers? Take this.
That was fun to do. There's some canned beans on her. And there's the guy who shot her, the leadhead splicer. For those who basically play Bioshock 1, these your basic enemies you encounter at the start of the game. You have your fire slicer with their crowbars, and you got your leadhead splicer with their pistols. I'll let you guess what the number here is, but yeah, you can basically enter key codes basically to get through these stuff. Let's just see if we can do this right now. So 1540. Actually, give you a hint for it too. There's some stuff there, bit of money. Not really missing much, by the way, if you don't come in here, but you know.
My husband is such a perfect idiot. Throws away all his spending money on gene tonics to affect a look of physical fitness. So he'll have an excuse to sit on his rear all day listening to radio serials. Steven, I tell him, you want to be fit? Come swim laps with me, the old-fashioned way. It's your mind that's atrophying. Maybe I'll start sneaking some brain boost into his daily regimen.
Alright, here's a cash register. And by the way, Lamb is washing. Just in case you didn't know. You'll find out who Lamb is in a bit, but you know. You probably already guessed what she's all about. Let's pick up some Eve hypos. I don't know why, but apparently I can just use this, you know, addendum, I guess we'll say. I'll note that, by the way, the max for this game is like, you know, 5 Eve hypo, so we'll pick up like, you know, 5 from here and probably like never use them again, but whatever. There we go. Alright, so here's the Gary's Garden, of course. We'll be there in a moment, but let's just go over here. And, okay, this isn't a room with anything in it. We're just gonna, like, you know, quickly, you know, grab what we need. Money. There we go. And yes, we do have a skin tightening tonic ad right there. Choose some today. Sunbeam gun ad. And let's just get our first plasmid right here.
Daddy was sleeping for such a long time, and Eleanor has missed you. Find her and you'll be all better. Daddy!
Alright, so basically this is from Eleanor, a plasmid for us, come soon to find me, basically she says. And there's another little sister basically, you know, telling us about what's going on, and someone just ran off of her. We'll find out what that's all about in a moment, by the way. You're going to love it, I guess. Alright, let's just use the electric bolt here to open the door.
King of kings, Lord of lords. I saw it written there. I saw it written with mine own eyes.
Non-believer, you defile the lamb!
That was fun. Oh yeah, we gotta do this. So let's, you know, activate the generator, which basically starts to bring the, you know, the city to life.
At last, a signal. You, who are bringing this dead city to life, listen. My name, it is Tannenbaum. I know who you are, and I am in much need of your help. Please, find me in the Atlantic Express train station.
There's another Big Daddy, by the way, doing his job. By the way, the big daddies in this game, this is like, you know, what they're supposed to be like, you know, basically set up for. Basically, like, you know, they were like the, like, you know, the guy who were outside, like, you know, fixing the place for, to keep, you know, Rapture alive. That was the general idea before, like, you know, they got turned into, these monstrosities that guard little children.
To my daughter, Eleanor, soon you will be born, and Rapture will be your home. You shall be raised as I was, to advance the common good through social psychiatry. This city's potential is immeasurable, Eleanor, yet our beliefs are unwelcome here. Life will be difficult, but the price of revolution is always dear. If we are patient with her, Rapture will come to us.
Yep, good old coin-operated stalls. And yeah, I knew she was going to spawn, by the way, because, you know, I've already gone through this level. So, I know how it basically operates, you know, so to speak.
A taste of Adam in weeks. Where is my doll?
Now you're dead.
This is Dr. Sophia Lamb with a message for the people. Remember, you are not alone. Think of me not as leader, but as mother to the Rapture family.
So she says. Let's just pick that up. I haven't figured out yet how to, like, you know, use up your plasmids, your Eve hippos to basically, like, you know, repower your Eve, but whatever. Let's just move it along. Actually, did I loot these guys first? Probably make sure I did. And there's some smokes, by the way. Good old smokes. And, yep, I did loot them, so that's good to know.
I am back in Rapture after so many years. The little ones I rescued are grown up and think of me no more. After what I once did to them, it was a joy to be forgotten. But now, all around the world, children vanish by the sea, kidnapped. And so I return, in fear of what I already know. Someone is making new little ones, continuing my work, my sins. Even if I am to die for it, I must stop them.
So yes, the whole gist of why Tenenbaum's basically back. She left and then she came back because people started making more little sisters. Ah yes, to go incinerate. That'll be fun. Yeah, I'm not by over here. We got a rivet gun, and the rose that used to carry it.
Test, Father. Haven't I proven my power?
Worth nothing.
There we go. Just kill these guys off. Who remembers the rivets, by the way? They were basically the weapon that roses used to use. Let's get our drill field back in action here a little bit. Get that. It'll be useful. Some rivets here.
Barely made it down alive. But here it is. And it's real. Rapture. This is where that thing took my poor baby girl. From what I saw in the sub, most of the city's in ruins. But there were lights here and there. And shapes moving. I'm rambling, scared, I guess. But maybe, if I find this Dr. Lamb I keep hearing over the PA, I'll find Cindy too.
Whoop, we were drunk. Yes, drunkenness is a thing in this game. Well, let's go and take that from him. There we go. We collected some drill fuel there. By the way, usually in the early game it's better just to puncture stuff, but we'll be needing that in a little bit, the fuel. Because you know what happens when you find one of these, right?
Big sister doesn't want you playing with me.
It's go time. And yes, these guys are fun to fight, as you can see. Oh, there we go. Let's get her off. Oh yes, so yes, big sisters are now a thing.
This is Dr. Sophia Lamb with a message for the people. Remember, Big Sister is always watching. To steal Adam is to steal from the Rapture family. Your family.
Yes, big sisters are now a thing. There's a corpse of a dog. Everyone loves their dogs, especially corpses of them. There's some canned fruit. There's another rivet gun. More rivets. And our new vital chamber, because, of course we need that.
Diane insisted that we spend a weekend at the Adonis. And already I find myself seeking a respite from my vacation. And she deems it necessary to chide me for working. The words dissolve into an endless animal bleat. I founded Rapture to be free of law and God, to live among those for whom work is our wage. Yet, when Diane speaks of burying my child, I am given pause. Till now I had never considered my legacy. Perhaps after the new year.
So, yeah, children. Now, I'll note, by the way, that for those who didn't, watch Bioshock 1, Andrew Ryan is essentially, the first main antagonist of that series. There's actually another one that comes after him, but, he's, the main one of, Bioshock 1. He's basically the guy who, built this, dystopian, city under the water. And we're about to get some very interesting, concepts that are never really explored, by the way, and, the first Bioshock game. Because here's the thing. We're basically, underwater in Bioshock 1. I'm sure you basically already know that, so... What does underwater basically have a whole lot of? Introducing a water level. Alright, so there's not much to do here. Let's just, like, you know, push on for the most part here. Now, note, by the way, you know, even though we're underwater, basically, like, you know, it's very much, like, you know, still, mechanics are, like, you know, whatever.
In that suit, even the ocean cannot harm you. This is good. But Rapture is the death of many great men. Alone, you will not last long. You can still reach the train station. Find me there.
Anyhow, we're underwater, so that's something I don't think Bioshock really, you know, explored and really should have, but whatever.
All right, diary. Last entry. Lizzie and I, we found a sphere, and we're going home. Ain't that right, baby? Next stop, topside.
Oh, I love you. It was you who saved us, Sammy. It was you, Button. What was that? What's that sound?
She's seen us. It's Lamb. Torpedo! Ah, I'm trying to...
Yeah, no one's gonna leave, by the way. Not with Lamb around. Oh, here's something you know, haven't seen yet. There's a new, you know, big Guardian type. Throwing its bombs around and firing off missiles and such. Alright, well, we basically see enough here. You get the idea. Basically, like, you know, just like before, you have little sisters guarded by, like, you know, guardians. There's a fuel tank. Isn't it so lovely? This very atmospheric game. That's the thing about this game. It's not really a shooter first. It's really like, you know, more of like an atmospheric adventure type of game. With like a story, you know, intertwined with like all the, like, you know, what's going on. I'm just going to get up to the next little bit where, of course, we are greeted by... Welcome to Rapture, your beautiful city. There's a squid going there. There's fishes in there. Alright, let's just jump down. Whee! Fud. Yeah, I'm not, by the way, like, even though we're underwater, we're not really swimming so much as we're just walking around. Jumping on the ocean floor. Whatever, though. There's the big sister. Alright, so in here we'll go, and this will basically include the first, you know, level, like the tutorial one. And there we go. And there's a tip for us. Alcohol basically restores health, reduces our Eve. And press the space continue. So, I'll note basically that, you know, that's basically the first level for Bioshock 2. As you can see, we're basically playing as a Big Daddy right from the start this time around, as opposed to, like, you know, at the end of, like, Bioshock 1. And, although this is a very interesting game in many aspects, I'll say. And one thing you probably, like, noticed if you, like, you know, I didn't really point out, but if you noticed it, you know, from, like, the first Bioshock 1, we had a plasmid in our left hand and a weapon in our right. So I wasn't actually constantly switching between plasmids and weapons in this game. So that's a big improvement on the first Bioshock one. But anyhow, we're just basically press space to continue and just keep going on here. Yeah, saving content. Please do not turn off your computer.
Herr Delta. You arrive as the little one said you would. Come upstairs to the ticket booth, and I will offer what I know of you.
That'll be for next time, by the way, but for now I think we're just going to exit out here and I'll basically conclude this episode. I'm going to try and keep these fairly short if I can, so we'll basically just, quit here. And by the way, we basically have, all saves to make use of, so no real need to save it right there. And yes, this is Bioshock 2. We'll see how it basically goes, but for now I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode, and take care.